Denver Broncos, what they've done this offseason, hired Sean Payton, which apparently in Seattle, Russell Wilson, the straw that broke the camel's back was he walked up. He's like, "Hey, I want you guys to fire the GM. I want you guys to fire Pete Carroll, and I want you to hire Sean Payton." They're like, "What? No, you're gone." And so they went ahead. Instead, they traded Russell Wilson. They stacked their future with number one picks.
Mhm.
Outperformed the Broncos, made the playoffs, and then got a high value contract from Geno Smith, and then gave him a 3-year deal where they have time to develop a quarterback, and they're going to be able to draft good players. And then Russell Wilson easily has the worst year of his career.
Mm.
Have to get Sean Payton to come in and save him. The Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett to lure Aaron Rodgers. How'd that work out for you guys? And then so we're at this point, and then they go out there, they load up on the offensive line. They go out there and they get Jarrett Stidham as a backup quarterback. And then what are the other moves that the Broncos made that you think are important this year?
Yeah, I mean, they also got some depth. They had lost Chase Edmonds and Mike Boone, who weren't very great for them last year. And they went out and got Samaje Perine.
Samaji's really good.
Absolutely. They got an edge rusher and Zach Allen, which is a nice move, and just some wide receiver depth. But overall, you kind of nailed it. They got Mike McGlickey, which
that's a huge signing.
They give a lot of money to him. We'll see how it ages, but overall, I like that. They lost basically just offensive line, and they lost Jermon Jones, but they still got $8 million in cap space. And the problem with the Broncos, however, is they don't have a pick until pick 67.
Yeah,
they're kind of screwed a little bit.
That's a problem, and also they're shot. Okay, this is what the rest of the Broncos offseason looks like for me. It's like you don't have a pick until pick 67, and you're thinking about trading both Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. And it's been announced to both of them that Sean Payton's been shopping them around. What are they doing at wide receiver? And then what do you think is the plan by shopping Sutton and Jerry Jeudy? Do you think Sean Payton's just trying to go out there and get his own guys in the building, or he doesn't believe in them? What's going on with the wide receiver situation there? Because I was kind of confused that they were shopping both of them.
I think maybe he just needs draft capital because they gave up a lot of picks for Russ. And maybe there's a wide receiver he really likes in the early rounds where he's like, you know what? I know I'm going to have to pay Jerry Jeudy soon. Jerry Judy's entering into his 4th year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to pay him. Same goes with Courtland Sutton. So it's like part of it could be that maybe they're not the right fits for his system.
Mm-hmm.
But it also could be like, we need some picks. We can get a couple of picks for these guys, get them out of here. I know there's plenty of suitors for Jeudy. Jeudy is one of those players who I feel like it's hard for me to say he's underperformed, but I feel like he just hasn't had the right quarterback with him.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was horrible last year, and before that, it was Drew Lock. Still had a 1,000-yard season, so
that's pretty impressive.
I think Jerry Jeudy, and you look at all the advanced metrics. I mean, he gets separation. He does everything he needs to do. He just needs someone to get the ball to him. And then Courtland Sutton's also a great receiver. So part of me feels like they're trading them partially as a slight rebuild, but also to get some picks so that they can draft their own guys.
Yeah, and what I will say is, even if Sean Payton can't necessarily fix Russell Wilson, let's at least get back to, I don't know, 25 to 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Honestly, it's really not that bad as far as the NFL quarterback standards go. It's like, would you like to be in like the 7 interception range? Yeah, but like for Russell Wilson to throw 11 picks, I feel like that wasn't a big deal. For me, it was really Sean Payton's going to have to hammer into him. There's a hierarchy here. You need to take the check down when we're going to be able to pick up first downs and get drives going. There's going to be opportunities for big plays, and we don't need to look for it on every single down. This is the reason why we're going 3 and out every time is Russell Wilson's there trying to make too much happen. He's like if Carson Wentz was uber talented, because Russell Wilson rushed for 800 yards, is one of the better dual threat quarterbacks of all time, has the arm talent of Drew Brees. He just gets in this mode sometimes where he wants to do it his way, but he wanted Sean Payton to come to Seattle because Drew Brees was Russell Wilson's idol. I remember the Seattle Seahawks and New Orleans Saints playoff game, and then really bad game, but Russell Wilson ended up getting the best of Drew Brees, had nothing but high praise for him
Mm.
And then he's like, obviously, he's a shorter quarterback, so Russell Wilson looked up to him. So the fact that he gets Sean Payton, who coached his idol, to coach him, I do feel like Sean Payton will be able to get enough out of them that they can probably be better than the Raiders or Chargers with how stacked their defense is.
Mm.
And then as far as their wide receivers go, it's like with Sean Payton, what I was gonna say, even if he doesn't fix Russell Wilson, he's great at bringing the most out of everyone on offense. He's great
That's
at
true.
scheming an offensive line. He's great at finding wide receivers, plugging them in, finding a player like Taysom Hill, getting creative on offense, and then being able to run a style of offense that's very unique that a lot of people don't know what to do with. Sean Payton's also a very run heavy coach. When they had Alvin Kamara, that was a huge part of it, and I feel like he brought some GP Ryan in to kind of be that Alvin Kamara type of running back who great pass catcher out of the backfield. He's going to be Russell Wilson's best friend in the back down. Like, hey, we don't have the big play open. We need to go out there and get a third down. Just check it down to Samaje Perine. He'll pick you up 3-4 yards. You can do that every single time, and it's okay. No one's going to knock you for that. They're going to knock you for losing.
Yeah, and they also have Javonte Williams too, who's coming off of that
Oh
injury.
my god,
So
that's
he's
a
going to be
lethal duo.
it's going to be disgusting. And for Russ, I don't think Russ needs to go back to prime Russell Wilson. If he's 80% of that, then that team's going to be really good because their
Yeah,
defense last year was top 5 in the league before they really started to lose their way.
yeah,
It wasn't until probably about week 13 where they just kind of it just it was a disaster at that
yeah,
point. So I think for them, it's like if Russ can go back to that form, I think that he might be able to be in second place. But typically in the divisions, if we look at the standings from the last few years, or really just the standings from last year, there's a pattern here. AFC East, Bills run by Josh Allen, Tua, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson. Ranking for quarterbacks in that division, pretty sound. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Kenny Pickett, and for the most part, Jacoby Brissett for the Browns all of that year. That
yep.
makes sense. Jags, which was Trevor Lawrence, Ryan Tannehill, fossilized Matt Ryan,
Oof.
and Davis Mills. Okay, that makes sense. And then Patty Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, and then horrible Russell Wilson. So if we're doing it quarterback rankings, that's why I kind of want to put the Chargers above him. However, if Russ can go back to his old form, I think he can.